Fueled by Temperance Spirits, Edmonton's leading non-alcoholic beverage provider. Order online for doorstep delivery.
Welcome back to Game Over Edmonton, your local leader in post-game Oilers analysis. In this episode, it's fueled by Temperance Spirits, the city's leading non-alcoholic beverage provider.
Visit Temperance online for a curated section of non-alcoholic options. Choose from a variety of craft beers, mocktails, wines, and spirits.
Temperance isn't just a retailer, it's a community of Edmontonians who celebrate the spirit of socializing without the need for alcohol. And with Temperance Spirits online shop, ordering your favorite non-alcoholic bevvies right to your door is as easy as Connor scoring the winning goal.
You can find our partners at Temperance online at www.temperance-spirits.com for delivery to your door, and use the code SDPN for 10% off your order at checkout.
And give them a follow on Instagram and Facebook at Temperance Spirits.
Welcome back. Game Over Edmonton. It's your boy, Avry Lewis McDougall, here in the host chair this evening. Oilers fall 6-3 to the Carolina Hurricanes and fall to 5-12-1 on this campaign. And what more can I say? What more can I say as this team now falls to 0-3 on its current road trip? 0-3. That's 0 wins. You know, that big 0. No wins. 3 losses. No OT losses either. Not a single point. Not a morsel of a point on this road trip. None. 0. They're starving for a point. And they lose tonight after falling down early 2-0. A game in which they were down. After 20 minutes, y'all, they were down 4-1 after this first period. 4-0 at first. 4-0. Stuart Skinner pulled. Calvin Pickard comes in. For the most part, sleeping through this first period. And things start off terribly because we all knew in pregame warm-ups, Darnell Nurse was injured, taking a shot off the face, the puck hit the crossbar, hit him in the face. So even before this game began, the bad juju was there. Oh boy, but you know, that's why you gotta relax with a nice Temperance Spirits non-alcoholic beverage to try and calm yourself down. Oh my goodness. That is 5-12-1. And I'm not joking. When I tweeted out earlier tonight, go get Eric Telsky. Go grab him. If he wants $8 billion, pay the man $8 billion. I don't care right now. I really do not care. This team needs some more help. And this was not all on Jay Woodcroft and Dave Manson. This is embarrassing. This is the year in which this team is supposed to contend for a Stanley Cup. This team was supposed to be going all in. And they're only above Chicago and San Jose. That is not good. That is not good. That is, what is it? DEFCON 1, DEFCON 5, DEFCON 46. Whatever DEFCON you want to put it, it's not good. It is not good right now. And we've seen... And I feel bad. I truly feel bad for Chris Knobloch, Coach Garlick. I feel bad for what he's come into, and I feel bad for his situation right now. I truly do feel bad for him right now. Because Chris Knobloch, great dude, had the chance to meet him, but Wow. That first period was not the stuff of a team that's supposed to be a cup contender. That first period was embarrassing. And it continued the trend of this team not playing a full 60 minutes once again. This team, again, has failed to play a full 60 minutes for more than what? Really, we've seen that effort of 60 minutes, what? Once or twice this year? Once or twice this year. Really. We saw it. We saw it when they beat the Flames in Heritage Classic. That was a near complete game this season. We saw them beat Nashville. In Nashville, when Dry again had when McDavid again had a great game against the Predators. But beyond a couple of games, this team has not played for a full 60 minutes in virtually anything, really. And that's sad. That really is sad. And now, at 5-12-1, we all know that we said it, Jason and myself, we talked about this on Game Over Edmonton. It's harder making up points in the NHL of 2023 than 2013 or 2003 or 1993. This is tough. This is not easy for this team to make up that ground now. And now you're going into Washington. Not an easy task at all. Now you've got Washington. Then you've got Anaheim. Then you've got Vegas. That road keeps on getting tougher and tougher. And remember, the teams above them keep on winning. It's... You know, if Zach was here right now, his head would explode. And I don't blame him, because it's tough to analyze a team that keeps on making the same mistakes over and over and over again. And like I mentioned right there, I'm not a guy who put all the blame on Jay Woodcroft. I mean, yes, there was obviously blame to go around in many aspects. But the fact that this team said, you know what, okay, here's our fix. Manson and Woodcroft gone? No. No. I did not agree with that one bit. And we all know this team has been underachieving for quite some time. We have seen this organization not build a team built to compete, to go deep consistently. And that falls squarely on Ken Holland and Bob Nicholson. That falls on them. That really does. And the fact that Woody got scapegoated for that, I don't think is right. Not at all. And of course, we'll try to get to a lot of this game as possible, look at the future schedule, and then of course, on Game Over Edmonton, we'll get to your questions, your comments, your concerns, your complaints, your compliments later on here in the press conference. And I see here on the show, the waiting room was, oh my gosh, people were here waiting to see what was going to happen. People are here waiting to get their comments in. People were ready for this show to begin. I don't blame you. We now have 99 people watching. There you go. I like that. I like seeing that. The audience. Elias, I like that. Compliments? Is there compliments? Good point. Maybe there's none. Maybe there are none. But holy moly. This is a mess. No one saw either Alberta team starting this year this poorly. Not a soul have this team starting this year this poorly. And like I mentioned off the top, this team gave up first 4 goals. Stuart Skinner shaves from his net. And this team struggling to get anything really sustained in Carolina's zone. It was tough. We saw guys like Timo Teravainen have success. Jack Drury have success. This was a game in which Carolina got 3 goals in 9 shots and 3 goals in 2:06 in that first period. Where was the call to action? Where was the call to action to have a strong start to bounce back after those tough losses against Florida and against Tampa Bay. I'm not seeing it. Not many are. Not many are. Where's an effort to come out and start the game on time and not start the game with 10 minutes to go in the third period? Good teams don't play a solid 15 minutes. The great teams come out and play a full 60. I'm not seeing it. Zach isn't seeing it. Dennis isn't seeing it. You cannot win in this NHL by giving in a rock solid 14 and a half minutes. Sorry, doesn't work like that. I know we all come in here on Game Over Edmonton to give you all a platform to get your comments off, your takes, but man, I feel for everybody here who watches this team, who invests money into organization, on tickets, on jerseys, etc., and right now they're watching a product that reminds me of the 2014 Oilers. At least they had a reason to be that bad. I mentioned the bad juju. Again, Darnell gets hurt. Warm-ups. Stu falls down. The juju was bad all over Raleigh, North Carolina tonight for this organization. It was a mess. I mentioned that first period. 3 goals and 9 shots. Stuart Skinner comes out. Kellen Pickard tries to battle valiantly to salvage something there in that game. Now, I will say this, though. Zach Hyman. Zach Hyman had a good night. Zach Hyman stepped up, got 2 goals for himself, got to the front of the net. You like seeing Zach Hyman battle when he can. That's one thing you can be guaranteed on is Hyman will always give you a honest day's effort, no matter if the game is 4-2, 5-2, or 25-2. But this is a game in which, outside of a couple of okay moments, offensively and defensively, this was not a complete game, again. And the goal for Carolina that made things a 5-1 effort, oh my gosh! Oh my goodness! Masterclass in puck watching. A masterclass in puck watching from every single Edmonton skater. How does that happen? How are you not watching the man near the front of the net? How are 4 skates cemented to the side of the net beside Pickard? That cannot happen at this level. That amount of puck watching, you may as well have been sitting in section 212 of this game. If you're going to puck watch like that. I could not believe that. How are 4 guys cemented at the side of the net? That was ridiculous. I'm sorry. Martin Necas had a beautiful goal right there to open that second period. 2:13 in. And not an Oiler on him. Wow. That was probably, I would say, one of the worst defensive efforts I've ever seen from an Oilers organization on that goal. Inexcusable. 4 guys. The side of the net. The side of the net. Like that. At that point, again, get Eric Tulsky on the plane. Get him before you leave Raleigh. Write up that check. Get it to Eric Tulsky. If I'm Jeff Jackson, if I'm the organization, Paul Coffey, Daryl Cates, get that check written up. Ask Eric, how much do you want? Come with us to DC. Because how can this continue much longer? Answer me that. Answer me that. Holy cow. Again, the cup contender, they're treading water. Badly treading water. And you know, I saw on Twitter all game long, the hashtag, the comments. We're seeing more and more disdain vitriol towards front office, towards Ken Holland, towards the organization. And at this point, yes, it is Ken Holland's last year as the general manager, but it's a business. This is a business. And at what point do you call it quits right now before that final buzzer, the final game? I know it's clear that the power shifted more towards Jeff Jackson and company, but you got to make a move. You got to do something else beyond continuing as is. We keep seeing. Now, yes, this team is trying to go after a goaltender. This team is in pursuit of a goaltender. We've seen the talk, and yes, they are talking to Montreal. So my guess is that one of the three Montreal guys will be in play to run a tandem with Stuart Skinner going forward. Could be Samuel Montembeault, could be Jake Allen. There's a couple of guys we've seen this team considering. I see, and we got other people from Game Over channel tapping in here. Lauren from Game Over Toronto. Pretenders. Fire Kenny Holland. You know it's funny when you got people from other Game Over shows tapping in right now to see the chaos, to see the drama of what's happening here in Edmonton. Because people like mayhem. People like to see a disaster. And that's what we have right now. You see a train wreck. People turn their heads. They want a crane. They want to see what's happening. And guess where that train wreck is in now? Edmonton. It's here. It's here, and it is not good. It is not good for a team that had high aspirations, who may now not make the postseason. This wasn't the spot they were supposed to be in when this season began. We'll get back to the main game here, of course. This game went from 5-1. Carolina makes it a 6-1 game midway through the second. Carolina makes it we thought a 6-1 game. Goals called back. The one thing Edmonton did win was a challenge. Edmonton at least won a coach's challenge to avoid this game from ending up being 6-1. The one victory they had was winning a coach's challenge. You can clap for that. The one thing Edmonton has found a way to win over the past season and a half is a lot of coaches' challenges. That is one thing this team finds a way to win a lot of over the past couple of years here. They win that challenge. Matthias Ekholm gets the goal back, makes it a 5-2 game, and you thought maybe when Ekholm scored, there might have been a little bit of hope coming in there. You thought it might have been a bit of hope. Great play from Ryan McLeod to get the puck over to Matthias Ekholm. And yeah, it looked like maybe there was some life coming back into this team. But again, this team has not played for a full 60 minutes. You can't have a good 20 minutes or a good 19:45 because again, we saw this team. The jump in the third period. They came out with some proper jump. They came out getting shots on net, getting high danger chances to start that third period, which is good. But where was more of that in the first period? Where was that 40 minutes earlier from everybody on the roster? Not just Zach Hyman. And then mention Hyman again. He gets his second to make it a 5-3 game. And it looked like maybe, just maybe, they were going to turn things around and erase that first and second period. Well, we thought wrong. We thought wrong. So now, again, this team falls 6-3. Carolina gets the empty netter to ice things. And the power play. Edmonton on the power play goes 1 for 4. The one consistent from last year has dried up in a major way. Edmonton on the man advantage has struggled. 1 for 4. And scoring 5-on-5 hasn't been much better. It really hasn't been. It's been tough. And again, we've seen the struggles of bad luck for guys like Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, like Leon Draisaitl when it comes to actually scoring. And unfortunately, again, Connor Brown, another game in which Connor Brown is held pointless, and Connor Brown is a -2. The Connor Brown experiment has not looked good. Connor Brown, 12 games in, has 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 points. To quote Sam Mitchell when he's coaching the Raptors, we got 0, 0, 0, 0. That. End of the day, you know what? Connor Brown, get your money. He got his deal. From a personal standpoint, good. Get paid. From a team standpoint, that deal doesn't look good for the Oilers. It really has not. It really has not. Oh boy, it's... And again, this team, I keep repeating it, 5-12-1 is embarrassing. 5-12-1 should call for heads to roll beyond the coach. You can't fire Chris Knobloch. You can't do that. You can't say the coach is the issue now. And speaking of that, the so-called new coach bump hasn't come. The new coach bump hasn't come. That's the thing that some people might have thought would happen. It has not happened. It has not happened. I guess one bright note, Jack Campbell did get a shutout win in the AHL for Bakersfield. He shut out Henderson last night, but Jack Campbell shouldn't be in the AHL. There's so many things broken with this organization, from goaltending, the forward core, D. It's a collective that just isn't clicking in so many aspects. And look at the stats right now. I mentioned it. Everybody above you is finding ways to get key victories, like Vegas, like Vancouver. In the conference, I know American Thanksgiving isn't what it used to be, as it traditionally was, but still, right now, you are looking at a daunting task at getting back into any playoff positioning right now in the Western Conference. As it stands right now, Edmonton Oilers, 5-12-1, 11 points to get into wild card number 2. Seattle, 19 points to get into the Pacific Division. Spot number 3, the LA Kings are at 25 points. And they're third in the division. The Edmonton Oilers, 11 points. Right now, you are chasing a wild card spot. You're chasing a wild card spot. As the Cup or Bust team with McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, Nuge. It's you've almost had Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid for 10 years. What more can I say? What? Unacceptable. Unacceptable. That's it. I would accept this team not being on top of the division. I could accept them battling in the second and third spot. Right now, Vegas' start was too hot for them to catch the Golden Knights. But only better than Chicago and San Jose? Come on, be for real. Please be for real right now as an organization. And now even Calgary. Calgary is now at 17 points. Calgary is in striking distance of Arizona, Anaheim, and the Kraken. You've dug that hole so deep right now, it's going to be a continuous uphill fight to sniff wild card 2 in this division conference. That is, we said before in Game Over Edmonton, this team, after they lost against Tampa, you had to at least win 2 of your last games on this road trip. At least you had to get 4 points on this road trip to keep yourself in a semi-good spot. Now, they might not even get 1 point. If they go 0 for 4 on this road trip, I know the panic button's been pressed, but oh mama, you might be talking about the season's for sure done if you go out and lose against Washington and lay an egg against Anaheim back at home. That really might be. That's all, folks. Oh my gosh. Anyways, press conference time. Comments. Fire away. I know y'all in that chat have things to say about this hockey team. I know you do. I know you do. You tune in here with your comments, your questions. You're mad. You're pissed off. Fire away. Actually, we got some comments here now. I've been percolating. Let's go up here. Let's go up in here and see what people have to say. Of course, the usual suspects are here in the chat. Mickinator, what's going on? Conrad's here. David W. So a lot of the usual suspects are here in the chat. We're trying to go through the comments here and try and see what's shaking here in the. You guys enjoyed me getting out of here. I mean, what more can I do? I felt like opening my front door and walking out. I felt like doing that. But I couldn't do that to you guys with show to go. Mickinator, when do we pull the trigger on a trade? Mick, well, honestly, I feel this team right now, with this team needing a fix of goaltending, you cannot wait another week or 2 weeks. I truly feel we could get a trade for a goaltender in the next day or two here. It really feels like we're going to get a trade next day or two here because you cannot continue going as is with this organization in this season. A trade happens in the next, I would say, maximum 2 to 3 days. If it goes beyond that, you're basically saying the season's over. I feel this team doesn't make a trade immediately. This team is playing for 24-25 and the new GM, which is not ideal. I don't think that would be ideal. I really don't think that would be ideal for the organization. Another question here. Luke Venables. Firing Holland seems obvious, but what does it do? I can see him being fired because he's bad at his job, but it seems like attending the deck chairs on the Titanic. Yeah, because I said before, Luke, the power is really more in Jeff Jackson now. Ken Holland is more or less a figurehead to an extent. There is some power in Ken Holland, but it's not what it was. Right now, it's more Jeff Jackson on Ken Holland than Ken Holland solo, but I could see to an extent him having a little bit of power, a little bit of say, but it's Jackson more in the final say. But to appease the fan base, I could see them trying to appease them maybe by saying, you know what, we can't end the year or two here in this role, Ken. I could see another OEG promotion where he's not fired, but he's given a different role to end the year as a favor for his working organization. I could see that happening. Another question here from Luke. What is always coming? The Oilers were called power play merchants. You know, that's the thing. The power play masked a lot of issues on the Oilers team. We saw it last year against Vegas and LA, where when the power play didn't click, this team struggled to score 5-on-5. Now, granted, this team has scored shorthanded. They have 3 shorthanded goals this year, and they scored again tonight shorthanded, which is great to see. But the power play, when it's not clicking, 5-on-5, there's issues. There is issues. And we've seen, at times, the one-timer for Draisaitl not connecting like it was last year inside the net. I really feel it's more just bad luck for Dry than any possible injury or anything like that. But the power play merchant talk is looking scary it's looking scary right now with that power play decreasing more and more. Of course, it was going to regress, but it's a tough look right now when again you struggle on that advantage and go 1 for 4 when Carolina in this game gave them ample chances to get back into things. Yes, Carolina scored 6 goals tonight, but there were times where Carolina did give Edmonton chances to get back into this hockey game later on, and this team could not convert. When the chances are there and you can't get it done, that's tough. It's very tough. Lucas Trapp, when are the trade requests coming? Oh man, I genuinely don't see. I don't see the big guns wanting out. Because why would you? This is your team. If you're a McDavid, a Draisaitl, this is your team. This is your organization. It's been built for you guys. I don't see the big names asking out right now. But man, you saw on the bench tonight during this game. We saw the frustration from every person on this team. You saw the frustration from Draisaitl, McDavid, Ekholm, Nurse, etc., etc. This is not a happy locker room. This is not a happy room. I've been in this room this season, and you can tell in the room, on the road, this team's not happy. I've been in the room on home game after home losses, and the locker room feels incredibly tense. There's an incredible tense air after the losses with this team, and there's just a down attitude. And I get it, but something has to change. It has to. It's really unfortunate. Whew. Conrad. I see Conrad mentions here. You see McDavid's face. Dude's broken, and he may want out. Broken, frustrated, yes. You can tell he hates losing. Connor McDavid, like any high-level athlete, hates to lose. We even saw Connor Bedard. Even though Chicago isn't going to be a cup team this year, Connor Bedard's mad about losing. These great players, like your Bedards, your Crosbys, your Ovechkins, your Draisaitl's, these guys don't like to lose. And when you've struggled, you've not won a cup like the Oilers have. Draisaitl and McDavid, they don't care anymore about Art Ross titles, Hart trophies, Rocky Richards. They want a cup. So yeah, for them to be struggling this badly, it's weighing on these guys. It's pissing them off to a great extent. But wanting out, I don't see it. I truly don't. I truly do not. We'll get 2 more questions here to wrap things up tonight. Lucas again. Is Nurse the most overpaid player in NHL? There's a lot of decent defenders that cost $5 million and less. I don't want to say Darnell is the most overpaid player, but the $9.25 million contract, it's a great deal if it's $7.25 million. If it's $7 million, it's a great deal. That's the thing where Ken Holland goofed giving Darnell that much money. Now, if I'm Darnell, I'm taking that money all day long. I like seeing a guy like Darnell get paid. I've said before on the show, I love seeing our brothers in hockey getting their money. But that's more on Ken Holland giving him that money than Darnell taking that. Because anyone takes that money. You take it. You all would. But that's on Ken Holland. But if that deal was $7 million, it's a great deal. But Darnell has had his struggles before. And we've seen. And it isn't just Darnell. It's a collective. It's a collective of this entire D core just having at times great moments. We've seen offensively Evan Bouchard having great moments, and then we've seen at times struggles in his own end. But it's a collective. It's not just on one player on that D core to blame it all on. It isn't. It's a collective. Yeah. Oilers GM. The Oilers are game. Oh my gosh. Me too. Matthew P. Barrett. The Oilers are GM mode. They felt corrupted. Oh boy, that's good way of putting it. Great way of putting it. that GM mode save file is definitely corrupted. It's been corrupted for a while. Oh man, that's funny. That's actually very funny. Oh my gosh. Anyways, gang, you know what? We're gonna wrap things up here on Game Over Edmonton, and we're back again to recap the Edmonton-Washington game. I'm back in the chair again for that game, so come back. Hopefully, that's the game in which Edmonton does get a win to end their road trip before coming back home to play the Anaheim Ducks. Anyways, I'm Avery. Hope you had a good night. And as always, like, subscribe, and comment to the Game Over content here on SDPN. Support all of our hosts, our contributors. Support them all. We're putting out some good work here. Love doing what we do here on SDPN. Until next time, I'm Avery. I am out of here. Enjoy your night, gang. Later.